Ag Tire Talks Driving Yield Through Tire Technology, sponsored by Michelin Agriculture. Don't forget to follow Ag Tire Talk on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X.
James Touching with Ag Tire Talk here. I'm with Nick Phillippi from Ascenso Tire. Welcome to Driving Yield Through Tire Technology.
Hey, James, how are you this morning?
Good, good. You know what? The product we're going to talk about today is very fitting for the nameplate of this podcast. It's an implement tire. It's the VIR 2500. So let's kick it off. A VF rated steel belt, and it's a radial. So why'd you build this thing, and why did you build a 320 70R15?
James, the implement business has just changed a lot, as everybody knows. Heavier products, a little bit more roading going on than used to be.
Amen.
The days of the standard implement, although they're still out there and they still have a very important place, there's so much product out there that just has got to have something that can handle more speed, more weight, last longer, be more stubble resistant. So we just built a tire to be able to fill that need in the marketplace. The 320/70 is the 12/5L15 that we're all familiar with in the size nomenclature. So that's just one of the six sizes we have out now, with another six sizes due out in Q4 and Q1 of next year.
So perfect. Let's just talk through that. So if I've got an implement of any, if I've got a planner, it's got 12.5 L15s on it, right? I can just switch those out to this Vf320 70R15. Is that not correct?
That's correct. We always advise that if you're going to change those because you have that need and this tire is the best fit, change them all. We really don't like, right? We don't like seeing people changing ones and twos at a time, because rolling resistances could be just a little bit different. The overall diameters inflated once they're loaded can be a little different from a bias. Again, just staying across all axle is always what we say with all tires.
Well, and cool. Then they get the benefit of the VF rated right off the bat. Why don't you just spout real quickly the benefits of going from a standard bias tire to VF rated?
Well, the VF rated over the standard radial tires definitely is the 40% more load for the same air pressure, or 40% less air for the same load. So, we're always talking about compaction. We're always talking about yield. We try to look at all tires throughout the entire farm, but everything comes down to that PSI that you need to carry the load is going to determine your compaction. And so that's why this tire is just becoming more and more popular every day. And like I said, and the loads and the speeds.
Hey, man, it's really a big deal, really fitting for the podcast. 40% less air pressure. We're talking about really substantially reducing soil compaction in the neighborhood of that 30 to 40% range, according to a number of different people out there. Let's talk about another feature. Let's talk about stubble, and let's talk about that steel belt impact on that. And also about the stubble resistant compound and how you think that this is going to fare against some of the hybrid crops that are out there.
Yeah, so we all know the crops, especially in dry years, the corn, especially just like a bamboo shoot, right? So
it is.
The steel belt gives you multiple benefits, but one of them certainly being durability. Puncture resistance is a main benefit of the steel belt, along with the stubble compound in the rubber. And if you look, the tire was designed to have no 90-degree angles, so that we give a path for both stubble and soil to pass, so that we don't build up either one of them, or we don't have a place for that stubble to impact and dig down in. So if you look at the design of the tire, everything is built in V shape and in non-90-degree angles, and it's got flow through the entire tire outside of the center ride channels that are for roading, for cleanability. So the whole tire, even though it's an implement tire, it's kind of one of the things you think is being like the simplest tire to build. In all practicality, this tire has a lot of technical attributes to it.
It does. And one of the things that's noticeably different compared to the old school implements, clearly those are straight ribs. They're kind of like an all-terrain tire, and the voids are getting a little bit higher. The space between the lugs is getting a little bit bigger. And really, as you said, the cool thing about that is with those angles that not non-90 degree, it's really reducing that stubble impact. So a very cool design. Check it out as when you check out the podcast. Non-directional. And then let's wrap up with it is D speed rated, which compared to yesteryear, right? It's not even the same ballpark. So why don't you touch on that, Nick?
Yeah, things are getting faster. Tractors in the US, now up over 35 into the 40-mile-an-hour range. So that means that every tire has to have the ability to go that maximum speed of whatever that equipment's going to be. So pretty much all of our radials now are D speed rated or even higher.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember on the VF stamping, that is a tough technical build. Not everyone does it. There's still a lot of IFs out there, a lot of standard. Even when you get to the radial piece, it's a fresh tread design. So really all the technical pieces, very new design, right? All the pieces, parts of really a highly technologically advanced tire. So let me make sure I got it, man. So we're talking about VF rated steel belt. It's non-directional, no 90-degree angle, so really stubble resistant. Also have the stubble resistant compound plus D speed rated for the faster tractors. You can go 40 miles per hour. What I miss, Nick?
I think you've covered it.
And that's a wrap.